Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Saturday. How are you doing? How was your week? Okay, so if you're new here, my name is Heather Hope, and this is The Inspired Entrepreneur. This is a daily podcast. Like, who does a daily podcast? That sounds absurd, right? Well, today is what? Episode, I think this is my 137th. Let me check. 100 and, oh, 138th episode. Plus, I have a couple bonus ones. So, there you go. Based off of my book, The Inspired Entrepreneur, 366 days. So it's funny because this year we don't have leap year, but that's okay. We'll have an extra day. We'll have an extra episode. No biggie, right? 366 days of inspiration for the entrepreneur. This is the law of attraction for business / money / lots of things. Primarily based off of Abraham Hicks. So if you're a fan, let me know. A lot of inspiration from Sanaya Roman. If you don't know who Sanaya Roman is, holy moly, holy man. I try not to swear on this or else YouTube may have an issue. Holy. Go to Google and buy every book of Sanaya Roman's. Like, I'm not even kidding because I have 6 of hers. I have the series. I guess it's a whole series. I don't know if it's really a series, but her 6 books, I have them all on my bookshelf right now. They are absolutely insanely good. Like Abraham Hicks is amazing, right? Really, really good stuff. But if it's like Sanaya Roman, she's the human who channels Oren. I think it's Oren. And she's been around as long as Esther Hicks has been, like all these years, same thing. But her books feel meaty, like they feel meatier. I don't know how to put it, but like my most favorite book on money is from her, and it's called Creating Money. And I'm sorry, I apologize that I don't talk about this as much as I should. I'm all about Abraham, but literally when I was writing The Inspired Entrepreneur, I was reading Creating Money by Sanaya Roman, and one of my old clients wrote to me recently too, and she said that she gets such an amazing, good, loving feeling when she reads her books. And I'm like, me too. And I said, so I was getting inspiration from her book, but this was what's so wild. I was reading her stuff and messages were coming through me that had nothing to do with what I was reading, if that makes any sense. So I can't say that I was reading her book and then just like, what's it called? And writing from her stuff, like writing the same subject. I wasn't talking about the same stuff. It was so bizarre. I had never done that before. It was just a vibration. It was like what I was reading from her. It was the best feeling too. When there was this one moment that I was sitting in my bed, reading her stuff, writing my own stuff that felt really good for this book. And it wasn't the same topic. I don't even know. It was so bizarre, but I felt like I was in my element, exactly what I want to do the rest of my life. It was so cool. But anyway, go buy all of her books. She is absolutely, like, I wish her stuff was as prevalent as Abraham Hicks, like on YouTube and stuff, because I would probably say I would be a bigger follower. But Abraham is so prolific and so, so it's just, that's how much I love her stuff. Anyway, I have no idea where she is, what she does, if she's doing anything. Like, she's not as easy to follow as Esther or Abraham. So anyway, and then there's some influence for sure in my book and what I talk about from Bashar. Bashar is a very new one for me. I just started listening to Bashar a couple of months ago. And, only because there was a YouTuber who was posting a ton of Bashar's work, and then that channel got shut down. Bashar doesn't want it on. Well, the Bashar is the channeled entity, but Daryl Anka is the guy, is the channeler. He doesn't want that stuff out there. And it's really kind of a shame because I got so into Bashar from the YouTube videos, just like I do with Abraham. But it's really interesting. Esther has done an amazing job allowing you to, you know, to have that stuff. It's just, it's pretty incredible. Esther has really done a really smart thing with what she does, because it just grows. And because it doesn't matter how much free stuff you get, there will always be people who will pay for it. So like she sells out her workshops. Like I've been, the California workshops sell out. I've been to them. I was shocked by how many people were there. Like I can't count that many people and I have no idea. But I remember in San Diego last year, I asked the main guy who's there every time, I'm like, how many people are here? And he's like 800. I'm like, holy crap. I had no idea it was 800. It's a big room, but Jesus, And then the next one was like 1,000, like LA and Long Beach, I think are 1,000. San Diego is like 800 or something, and she keeps expanding. And California and these are, every weekend in January is Southern California. Well, it's three weekends, Southern California, right? LA, San Diego, LA, Long Beach. And then there's 3 weeks in Northern California. They pretty much all sell out. People will go to each one of them, pay $225 for a workshop, even though they've spent the entire year listening to everything for free. People will still pay. There's no rules. There's no rules in money. There's no rules in any of this. There's so many rules that people in the marketing field have touted that I have proven completely wrong in my own experience, because there's no truth. There's only the truth that you have in your own life. So I've had people like pay me and not do the work. When people say in marketing, they say, oh, only people who pay will value your work. Bullshit. That's if you believe that. A lot of people believe that, so they sell you that idea. No, I've had numerous people in my free group in the past take everything that I've written and use it and get results. And I've had a ton of people in my paid programs do absolutely nothing and still pay me monthly. So where I have disproven like every theory that I've heard in marketing. I swear to God. That's why I don't listen to anybody. I'm like, you guys stop selling this stuff. It's just so annoying, because it's like the only truth is the truth that you create for you. So it's hard for me to get on board with the whole like, oh, people, because then I start thinking, well, do people just need to pay more? Pay more. Do they need to pay more? I don't know. I didn't try it. So, but it's just, there's no rules. There's no rules. The only rules there are the ones that you make. You can create all the rules that you want. Make sure they're really good rules for you. Make sure they're really fantastic rules for your business. Don't make shitty rules like nobody values free. Do you want to help people or not? Like, I don't care if people pay me or not. If you use it, just use something. Pay me or don't pay me. I don't care at this point, because it's there. You can buy the book, which I think books are amazing. They're amazing. They're low cost. They're something that you can have forever. A course is just a different animal. But anyway, let's jump into today's topic, because I have no idea what I'm talking about now. Okay, so today is January 16th, Saturday. Are you expecting success or failure? You get whatever you expect. I talked about this with with relationships a couple days ago. I'll have to hear the feedback on that. What do you expect? Are you expecting success or failure? You get whatever you expect. So this is with everything. Are you expecting your next relationship to fail? Because then if you do, then it will. Do you expect all your relationships to fail? Then they will. You might as well be single and live it up. It can be incredibly fun to be single. I love being single. And the reason why I found an amazing man and got married is because I was so insanely happy being single. I was so happy, guys. I was so happy. And I talk about it. Once in a while, I'll talk about it. My husband knows. He knows that I'm not incredibly attached to being married. I'm not incredibly attached to, you know, any of these ideas that society has put on us. Like, I'm not, like, at this point, I wouldn't get remarried. He knows that. I wouldn't get married. I would not get married again. I would be two single people who love spending time together until they don't want to spend time together anymore and not make it a big, hairy deal, like Abraham says. So he knows he slid in there when I didn't realize what that was about. So, but I'm super happy being single. I don't know. Now things could change now because, you know, I have a really great guy that maybe being single now probably wouldn't be all that wonderful because now I'm used to having a great guy. So who knows? But back then, I got to the point when I stopped dating because I was attracting really terrible guys, like terrible. I attracted several married men that lied through their teeth about not being married. Like one guy said that his wife died. His wife did not die. His wife was still living with him. I didn't know that until like a couple months later. She messaged me and I'm like, oh, shit. He told me you died. Like, oh my God, how awful. And these people, they were in their 50s or 60s. I don't know. They were 50s probably. It was insane. So I had to stop dating because I was attracting worse than my ex-husband. And I'm like, oh, holy hell. You know what I mean? So it's like something was off. So I was dating a lot of married men that were absolute, I call them douchebags. They were just terrible people. One was, I remembered back, one was married. And he was a white supremacist. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm serious when I say really not good people. Like, a guy is not a good guy, first of all, if he's married and he's trying to date somebody, but a guy is not a good guy if he says his wife died, or a guy is not a good guy that he just got released from prison and he's got, you know, he's got white supremacy symbols on his body tattooed. Like, that's not a good person. That's not quality. So I had to stop dating because I was like, this sucks. This is worse than what I left. Okay, so I dove into some of the stuff of like, be happy, being single. I bought myself a ring back then because I had a ring on for years. I always wore a ring. Well, you know, I was married, but before that I wore a ring with my previous relationship. So I bought myself a really beautiful ring because it felt weird not having a ring on my finger. It reminded me of what is no longer. So I bought myself a ring, kind of like feeling good about it. And then I started loving myself and dating myself, like doing really good things for myself until the point of embracing and loving being single. And I swear to God, 6 weeks later, I got the impulse to message my good friend Roger. And for the next day, I wanted to meet him, wanted to see him. And he took me out to dinner, and that was it. That night, we were kissing, and I knew it. I knew if I hung out with this guy long enough, I was going to fall in love with him. That's how quickly it was. And that's all because I stopped dating all the jerks, loved myself, and was insanely happy being single. And the fear that everybody has is if I love it too much, if I love what's my current situation, I'm just going to get more of my current situation. It sounds logical, but it's not true. Anyhow, that was a quick love scenario, love thing. But are you expecting success or failure? You get whatever you expect. So start expecting success. So if you're in these groups, like business groups, probably leave them because they're probably not going to serve you very well. But there's a lot of people in these groups. Like if you're in a course, Like it's always in courses. Like if you take a course with something business related, usually a Facebook group comes with it. And a lot of people come to the groups with all their fears, with all of their like what ifs and all of that. That is real. Whatever you put your focus on is what you're putting in your vibration. This is one of the major reasons why I don't coach people anymore one-on-one or in a group. Because when they come with their fears, when they come with all of their limiting beliefs and all of that, it now becomes active within my vibration. I don't want it. I've worked on my vibration. I've worked on my mindset for years to believe that I'm a successful person, to believe. And I just don't want anybody in my life with that vibration. I'm super picky with who's in my life at this point. I'm picky with what I watch. I'm picky with who I talk to. I'm picky with my friends. I'm picky. I just want the best. So I don't want to hear people talk about all their fears and all their, I just don't want it. Like, I don't. So that's okay. I don't have to. That's the thing. I can, like, my Soul Aligned Business Program, the biggest part of it is being honest with what you really want. Just because I was a therapist and a coach, just because I've helped people for over 20 years doesn't mean that I have to still do it. Doesn't mean that. It means I really need to follow what makes me the happiest. Writing, speaking make me happy. Helping people with all these fears and all these things and trying to, no, that doesn't make me happy. And I realized that. And it made me happy in the past. Probably as a therapist, it made me more happy. But as a coach, not so much. So I got honest with myself and stopped doing it. And I'm a much happier person. I love just working with working on my own vibration, working within my own bubble. I love that. So I'm a lot happier now that I don't have a bunch of clients attached in some way to me. I really love it. I feel free. I feel like I can do anything I want now. And I don't have to report to anybody. I don't have to check in with anybody. I can just be myself and do all the things that I want to do. So anyway, back to our message. Are you expecting success or failure? If you're one of those people that keeps talking about the what ifs and all that fear, you're just detached from your broader perspective. Who knows better? Who knows that if you stop focusing on that stuff and focus on successful people, focus on the people who are killing it, focus on them. Don't focus on the people who are fear-based. Don't focus on the people who can't, do anything. There's this woman, somebody, she shared, it's a group I'm in, she shared some text messages from her daughter. She has like a teenage daughter who's trying to encourage her to pursue a business and pumping her up and all that. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you need to step up and be a role model for your daughter. But I didn't say it. I just kept my mouth closed because I can be a little feisty, because I'm like, I would not want my teenage daughter to try to motivate me or inspire me to be better. It needs to be the other way around. Like, I would want to be the best parent possible and inspire the hell out of my children to make them believe that they can have anything they want. They can be anything they want. Like, that would be my role. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to be a parent, like you know what I mean? But like, I get it. People are humans and they fall into these traps of psychology and traps of all these labels and all these things. I get it. So that's why I don't, say a whole lot anymore to people, because I understand. I got it. I used to be that person. I used to be the one that believed all this bullshit that people talk about. I used to believe all that because it sounded logical. Well, it sounds logical because when we expect it, it happens, and then it's logical, right? Expect something else. Expect success. Remember, the universe is on your side. The universe has got everything lined up. Literally, we talked about business this week, right? Yesterday or the day before, something like that, or a couple days ago. We talked about business. Now, the universe has everybody lined up for you. I talked about, I'm reading Barack Obama's new book. I can see through his writing, I can see how things got lined up for him. A lot of things lined up for him to win, to become president. His desire to make change was a deep desire. And for him to be able to do the change that he wanted, he needed to be president. And the universe had everything lined up for him to have that happen. Like when everybody around you, way before you make a decision, everybody around you tells you you need to run. You need to run for president. Like who the hell, like who lives that life? He had everything lined up. He doesn't really believe in fate or destiny. He believes in God, but he doesn't believe like so much, reading this, but that's what he says. But I'm sitting here like, dude, the universe had everything lined up for you. And it worked. Like you just stepped into things. You got that, keynote moment for John Kerry back in 2004. You got that moment when so many people immediately knew you were going to be president one day. You got that moment. You got it. You had the opportunity come to you for a reason. You took it. You killed it. You wrote a very inspiring speech that got people. So believe in your success. Believe in your success because the universe has everything lined up for your success. All you have to do is get into a good feeling place every single day. Get into a good feeling place. If you're not feeling good, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't do that. Because that just makes it worse. Just go take a nap, go do something fun, do something to get your mood off of that. Get back into a good feeling place, follow your inspiration, don't stress out about things, just know things are happening in your favor and follow what comes to you. Follow the thoughts that come to you, follow what feels good, just follow natural guidance and you will find your success. That's it. But if you focus on the failure, guess what you're going to get? Okay, I got to go. My voice is like sounding kind of weird to me. So I will be back tomorrow and I'll be back for my trip on my next episode. Next one I do, I'll be back. Maybe something cool will happen. Anyway, have an amazing rest of your Saturday. I will be back tomorrow, guys. Bye.